Hi. I hope you can hear. So, I'm the founder of OneGlobalVoice and vice president of CIEF. It's not the subject of today's hearing, but this is something that I must address everywhere I go. And there still are 13 hostages in Gaza tunnels today. 13 bodies that the terrorists of Hamas, against all the agreements that they signed, are still holding and are playing unimaginable mind games with the families. Yesterday, they gave back one body that turns out that it was part of a body that was already in Israel for many months. So that's the kind of people that we are talking about here. That's the kind of culture that we are dealing with. So, Muslim Brotherhood is something that exists for a long time. The aim of Muslim Brotherhood is to establish the caliphate basically all over the world. They don't say it loud maybe, even though in the past couple of years since October 7th they've been much louder, but that's what they want. And that's what they've been doing. And in 2008, there was a famous trial in the US, Holy Land, against Holy Land Foundation, that established ties between the Muslim Brotherhood and the Holy Land Foundation and all the laundering of money that they were doing. And also, among others, there was a booklet that explained how the Muslim Brotherhood is going to achieve its objectives. And that booklet was, I think, from the 1980s. So we're talking about over 40, 50 years ago. That they've been establishing charities all over the world, the Western world. And from one charity, they start with tentacles everywhere, getting to all the university with all these clubs and everywhere. And everything is always going back to them and to their sponsors, which are usually Iran, China, Russia. Qatar helps a little bit with some pocket money when they need. But basically, they formed an alliance with the radical left and are trying to take over the Western world. And this shouldn't be taken lightly, because when we look at what's been happening since October 7, it's very frightening. Now, I remember that Gaddafi gave an interview sometimes in the 80s, I think, to a European journalist, and he told them, "You are idiots. We're going to take over all of Europe without shooting one bullet. We've been trying for thousands of years to conquer Europe, and it didn't work. Now we're doing it without shooting one bullet." And look at what's happening today. Look at the UK, Germany, France, Belgium. They're already almost there. So we have, I think, first and foremost, we have to listen to them. Okay? They've been very vocal since October 7. You can hear them screaming in the streets of New York, Toronto, London, death to America, death to Canada, death to Europe, we'll take over. We have to listen to them and we have to believe them. We cannot say, oh, they don't mean it. It's not like when you have a fight with your neighbor and you say, I'm going to kill you because your tree went over my grass and I had a few leaves that fell on my grass. That's different. When they say we want to take over and we want to kill all of you, or we want to make all of you become Muslim, or we kill you, they mean it. This is what they want to do. Now, I'm Jewish, but it's not Jewish the problem. Jews are the tip of the iceberg. It's what we see today. It's what they're attacking today. But it's the Saturday people first and the Sunday people after. And we're already at the after. Not even at the before. Look at what's happening in Africa with the Christians. Look at what's happening in Canada with the Christians. Look at all the churches that have been burned. Look at the Christian preacher, singer that came last month or 2 months ago to do a tour in all of Canada and wasn't allowed to sing. Even in a church, he wasn't allowed to sing. So we allow the extremist Muslims to take over the streets and do whatever they want, but the Christian cannot even sing in a church? The Muslim Brotherhood is banned in most other countries, by the way. UAE and other countries, they don't allow them because they know exactly what happens to them. For the same reason, by the way, that almost 99% of the Muslim countries won't take any Palestinian refugees. Did anybody ever thought about that? Why King Jordan and the Queen of Jordan, oh, my poor cousins, Palestinian, would you take some into your country? Oh, no, we cannot take them into Jordan. Jordan is the Palestinian state, by definition, par excellence. If you look at the history, Jordan is 70% of the mandate of Palestine that was given to the British, in which they gave it to a tribe from Saudi Arabia that has nothing to do with that area of land. Most of the population is Palestinian. Is there even such a thing? Today, people here in Toronto and in Canada are so afraid of the future that I see more and more of them that are actually leaving Canada. Every day we see Canadians that are leaving Canada because they don't see a future here for their children and their grandchildren. And that should be frightening to you guys here in this house. One of the things you have to understand about the Muslim Brotherhood and about Islam in general is that they practice something that's called Taqiyya. And Taqiyya allows them to do everything. Taqiyya let them
call her the truth.
Call it the truth, you can say. They can lie under the pretension of Taqiyya and do whatever they want. It's allowed and it's a privilege by the religion to do as much as they can to retreat and gather force, and that's why they want this ceasefire all the time, so they can then come back and take over. Taqiyya will let them tell you what you want to hear. And that's what's happening everywhere. When they go into office, like Mamdani in New York, he said what you want to hear. Once he gets into office, then it's a different story. And we have to learn from the history that these are dangerous people, the West is under attack, and we have to, all of us together, fight it. That's the only thing I can say.